Okay, can I get out of the way? Yeah, we can. I can answer the questions from back here, actually. That's what's up. Okay. So, can we do blue room style? Where's the... Yes. Oh. Blue light, go. Nice. Okay, so how does that affect it? Red, blue. Oh my gosh. Is that even... Oh. Is that even possible to do? No. How is that possible? Hold on, guys. I think we can do... Where can I put this? Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, see, that's crazy. That's crazy, yo. Can I set it up for this? But I need to... I'm sorry, guys. We're just setting up right now. There we go. So blue light. And then I think I have the ability to go blue. You know what it is? These lights might just be running out of juice, bro. Like, that's what it is. Like, that's crazy. Like, why are they... When I hit blue, they are not turning blue. Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, we're just gonna turn these off for tonight. I'm gonna turn the background light on. White? Yeah, but still. You guys still need, like, good light. Bum, 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 no, 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 no. See, it'd be nice if you guys can see how it impacts the... That's why the inside lights were so good, but I guess none of it really matters. We're doing Q&A. I'll have to approach my lighting setup a little bit differently in the future. I've been focusing on this setup right here for the whole memoirs of a fragrance series that I've been doing, so haven't had much time to focus on the collection and the shelf and what we're doing. Just been buying a lot of fragrances. How you guys doing? What up, Willie? What up, Kicks? I know I say this a million times, but I'm really tired tonight, Kicks. I literally just went live because I'm too tired to turn on my computer. But I'm not tired enough to go to bed yet. So I'm saying hi for a little bit and I'm out of here, bro, to be honest with you. Bum, 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 no, 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 no. So there versus there. I like that. I like that contrast. Cool. All right. What's good, people? No, I understand, Kicks. I hope you had a good afternoon, bro. Good chatting with you today. Gonna be trying out fragrance making. In my first one, I'm thinking of having citrus, ginger, pink pepper, patchouli, and maybe candlewood. You mean sandalwood? Willie, what I would do, bro, is write down that idea and then go on Fragrantica and search. You can actually make a fragrance on Fragrantica basically by saying, like, show me a fragrance with these notes. And I would plug all your notes into Fragrantica and see what fragrances already just use those combos to see if you're biting an idea. And if it's a completely original idea, go all in. But if there's famous fragrances with that note profile, you got to add something to it or completely ditch the idea, because you'll look like a biter. You'll look like a clone house. Thank you, Matt. Good to see you, Mr. McDonald. Appreciate you, brother. Actually, so new additions, like recent. We've been doing niche only for like the last 4 months. So new additions though is this Diptyque Eau de Parfum Tempo. And this thing is fire. Check this out. So what I love the most about this bottle is the front is obviously dope, right? This black on like earthy patchouli, right? I've always loved Diptyque's artwork, but then check this out. It's got a freaking painting behind this from the inside. How fresh is that? That's on some like Japanese scroll art. What do they call that? Calligraphy? Not calligraphy. Japanese black and white. There's something, it's called. But like, check this one out. And then this is the second edition, Fleur de Peau Eau de Parfum. With Diptyque, if you can get Eau de Parfums, please get them, because these are basically like glorified skin scents. Yeah, Japanese traditional like black and white painting. But with Diptyque, amazing house, a lot of dope finesse, but you have to get the Eau de Parfums, because otherwise the Eau de Toilettes are just skin scents. But then check this one out. Like, how fire is that? I used to study this kind of artwork in college years ago, and I used to make stuff like this. So I was like immediately drawn to the house. Immediately. But man, these are bangers. Fleur de Peau and Tempo are crazy good. Crazy good. What's the scent of the day, guys? I mean, even this painting, I don't know if you guys can see it. So what I'm gonna do is, my collection is getting a little insane now, and this is probably like 3/4 my collection. 1/4 of my collection is all boxed up and in my bathroom. But like, let's step back a little bit. My room's a little bit messy, or my office, guys. So we're gonna take that and face it like this up against that wall, and I'm gonna take off that soundproof panel, because you know we got panels all over the studio. I'm gonna take that panel off, probably run it like there, and then face this that way so it's up against that wall. So that way you guys can see the painting, and then I'll put some shelving right there below that painting to put some maybe bottles that I'll be featuring on the channel, or I'll run a thin shelf tall right there and stack bottles down with that shelf being put on the wall. But once I do that, you guys can see that painting. This is one of my best. I did that painting as well on some like Jackson Pollock type stuff when I was in abstract surrealism. But this in the back, it's really hard to see. It's one of my best painting. It's all covered up by freaking fragrances. So we'll eventually, honestly, my whole studio needs a tune up. Like, before, this is kind of where clients go and sit when I'm mixing music. You know, I got the speakers set up so they can hear the final product, you know, microphone, whole studio set up, some hardware and whatever. So really, I need to remodel this whole setup entirely, because it used to be a 3-screen setup, but that just wasn't efficient for the whole camera setup. This is kind of sloppy. I want to get rid of that. Raise these even higher to eye level. This stuff is like, it's just like, this side's, it's supposed to be like a film podcast studio setup / where the clients sit when I'm working. and then studio, but then I've put the fragrance stuff in here, which really shouldn't be, but maybe we can do like some kind of LED lighting like how I have here around. But the other thing is I'm 36, so I'm not trying to make a gamer studio. It's real easy with LED lights to make your studio look like you're a super senior in a gaming room, and that's not the vibe I'm going for. Okay, let's answer some questions. I love wood scents. Me too. What's up, Victory? Good to see you, buddy. What's your most expensive bottle? Probably Diaghilev. You should try Ralph's Club by Ralph Lauren. I've tried that, Matt. Real good fragrance. Thank you for posting your content. Loving the vibes, mate. Respect from the UK. Appreciate you. Hey, have any of you guys seen the new series I just dropped on YouTube called Memoirs of a Fragrance? It's one of my newest concepts. I'm just curious the feedback on it, if anyone's been watching it lately. Also, do you know what kind of fragrance oil I should use? I've seen people say you can use essential oil, but I don't know. I mean, the thing about fragrance house-based oils is fragrance companies don't know as much about all of the health regulations you have to go through to make an oil that's safe for skin. And so if it doesn't have the health labels on the bottle, you really shouldn't be putting it on your skin. And again, fragrance companies, it's hard for them to specialize in oils with good quality control because it's just hard to do. There's a lot of hoops you got to jump through. And since there's already a lot of hoops you got to jump through making a fragrance, the oil game is way different. So typically when you're purchasing oils, you want to mess with a company that specifically and only does oils because you know that the quality control is up to government regulation standards for safety. You don't go the safe route. You're just buying a bunch of bad chemicals you're throwing on your skin. But yeah, when it comes to essential oils, you absolutely can get, you know, any kind of standard essential oils kit. I have one right here, and I use it for comboing with fragrances. I've showed you guys this a number of times, but you can, you know, clary sage, vetiver, bergamot, you know, juniper. You can just take these and dab them on your skin. Here's a menu of like the different vibes of what they do from an aroma chemical therapy standpoint. And you can layer these under your fragrances, absolutely. And they will not only add to performance, sillage, longevity, projection, but they'll also combined with the fragrance to give different accents to a fragrance. You know, if you want to make pineapple stand out more or give something a more earthy sense, you know, that's when you can start playing with oils to do that. But that's kind of advanced. You got to really be nerdy to get into that. Otherwise, it'll get old quickly. But essential oils are really cheap today. You need some LED underglow. Yeah, probably. Have you tried Michael Malal's line? Yeah, I've tried a couple of them. If you look on my videos, you can search Michael Malal. The latest one I did was the GentSense collab Terra Nova or something like that. I've got a couple of them though on my channel. Cloud lights, okay. Okay, cool. Appreciate that tip, Matt. Do you have Voyage? Yeah, I have Voyage, but Nautica Voyage is in my giveaway box. We'll be giving away Nautica Voyage on the next giveaway. Oh, was that vetiver? Oh, was that vetiver? That's always a nice scent. Which one, Gilly? I'm like a vetiver collector, so there's a lot of vetiver scents up here. Sorry, do you have a Nautica Voyage? Yeah, it's in my giveaway box in the closet. Take care, Kicks. Appreciate you, man. So for those of y'all who are rolling in here, we're just doing fragrance Q&A tonight. So any questions fragrance related, more than happy to answer that for you. I'm missing a bottle of something. What was my fragrance of the day today? Fragrance of the day was Aqua de Gio, but oh, that's down here. Scent of the day, pretty basic today. Aqua de Gio Eau de Parfum. It's the only Aqua de Gio that smells different than the rest of the line. A lot greener, a lot more herbal. The other ones kind of all smell the same with the exception of Elixir Parfum and Profumo. They have a little more of an incense touch. But I like this because I've been wearing Aqua de Gio, all the variations for like the last 20 years. And this is the only one that really I wear and feel like I'm wearing a new fragrance. All of the other ones just make me feel like I'm 16 again. But that was the scent of the day today. What was y'all's scent of the day? How do you participate in the giveaway? So we did a huge giveaway 3 weeks ago, and we gave away 32 bottles, and that was for my 2K subs. So every time we hit 1,000 subs, I do like a 20 to 30 fragrance giveaway. And we give away designer and niche and clone fragrances for free. No one has to pay for shipping or anything. But in between that, every month I try to at least give away a few bottles. So every month I'll put up a giveaway video, and the way you enter is simple. I go live, you type something in the chat, whatever the keyword is, and then it does a raffle. So for free, you just type in the keyword into the chat. The AI bot selects giveaway members, and then it gives you my contact information to submit. But yeah, I'm trying to collaborate with like 3 or 4 different content creators so that all 4 of us can be giving away a few bottles a month. So that way when you're on my channel, we're trying to make it so that there's at least 100 bottles given away a year. But I mean, right now I've given away like 40, 50 fragrances just this year alone. So we try to make it fun for everybody. Have you ever heard of a brand called Filthy Rich? I have not. I picked up a Versace Eros Flame yesterday. My fragrance journey pretty much started. Okay. Eros Flame, not bad, not bad. I'm sure you're enjoying it. Eros does not really make a bad fragrances. I'm an original Eros kind of guy. I think this one was the best one ever made. But Flame and Eros Energy are really good, invigorating fragrances. And good longevity on them. Pretty affordable, so solid choice. Scent of the day, Davidoff Cool Water Intense. Okay. Taking it old school and new school. Okay. I have worn Fahrenheit for almost 20 years, never experimented with other aftershaves. I mean, Fahrenheit's good. You want a fun fact? My dad, I'm 36. My dad has been wearing Fahrenheit since I was in middle school. So he's been wearing Fahrenheit for almost 25, maybe a little over 25 years. It's a man's scent. You know, my dad is a president of a company, so he was suited up every day of his life. So Fahrenheit is a very masculine, robust, petrol, you know, dominant, brash, manly scent. So for a president or a CEO, that fit him really nicely. You know, I think he wore a couple other scents, maybe some Dior, some other Diors, but Fahrenheit was like his go-to. He always had a bottle of Fahrenheit. So it's a really polarizing scent, though. It's either you're absolutely in love with it or it's way too intimidating for you to wear. Similar to Diaghilev, honestly. Like Diaghilev, somebody asked earlier what was my most expensive scent. Diaghilev, I think, goes for like, or a Boadicea. But I think the Boadiceas I have are much less. But I think this is quite a pricey fragrance these days. This smells like a Russian president. Like it is the most, one spray of this will last 2 days. And at the end of the 2 days, you'll have to wash it off of your skin. So that's the kind of fragrance Fahrenheit is. You spray it on and you're like, whoa, you get the gasoline, you get the pepper, you know, you get the resins. Yeah, if you guys could, 3 dots over here or over here, hit the 3 dots and hit the like button on the video. YouTube will start pouring in some more fragrance lovers to have good conversations with you. What's a good green dupe for the summer? Easily Vibrant Vetiver Delight from Amir Paris Corner. It's a clone of Ball de Freak. Let me get some test strips. Balda Freak smells like, I always tell people this, Balda Freak smells like an expensive 7-Up, you know, or not 7-Up, Sprite, like original Sprite. Lemon, lime, a little bit of earthiness, a little bit of effervescence, like a ginger spritz, but it's mostly expensive Sprite. This is $25, $30 for a large 100 ml bottle. Smells like expensive Sprite. You wouldn't think smelling like an expensive Sprite would be a good masculine scent, but it's playful, but it's also very invigorating. Sillage projection longevity on this is probably like 8 hours plus. Scent trail is immaculate. It's one of the best atomizers in the game. Psst. Just really nice. Lasts long, smells good, punches way above its weight class. I would say it's about 95% close to Balda Freak. Balda Freak's a little bit more earthy. This is a little bit more playful, but this mimics kind of like a Parfums de Marly type of scent, you know, DNA wise, not like Greenlee or Carlisle or Sedley, but that level of quality and that level of green. Very good fragrance. If you have 30 bottles or less in your collection, this will provide you something that's not currently in your collection, and it'll be super affordable. Another fragrance like it that's really cheap, and again, I'm always going to recommend the cheap fragrances first. We could go niche all day long, but I like to say stuff that people can get into. So if you don't want to smell like expensive Sprite, the next green fragrance that I think is really unique for the price point is this Banana Republic Vintage Green 78. The main components of it is like a green forest note. It's a little bit synthetic, so it's kind of along the similar vein as Coach Green or Victor and Rolf's Spice Bomb Night Vision, you know, the green bottle. It's got this slightly artificial but still pretty fresh, almost photo real green blast, and then it has a tea note, so a black tea note, and fig, a slight sweetness from fig. So green, so zesty, invigorating green, earthy spritz, slight sweetness from fig, and then a kind of herbal, light, airy, crisp feel from tea fig green. Really nice. I think this is probably one of the best Banana Republics in the line. It's the only Banana Republic I carry a full bottle of, but I do have the entire 30 ml collection of the Banana Republic line, and even though there's a lot of good fragrances, Vintage Green 78 is king of the greens at the $15, $20 price point. You can get 150 ml of this for $20. So that's a sleeper. And then if you want real earthy green, like the most niche smelling green that's like still super affordable, so we went with expensive Sprite smell with Vibrant Vetiver Delight. That's 25 bucks. Then we went to kind of a more character green, you know, with the fig and the tea with Vintage Green 78. My favorite realistic niche smelling green fragrance. This mimics Dior's original Eau Sauvage. This is Lin Sumi, and this is the most earthy photoreal green forest blast. It's got an alpine, pine needle, Christmas tree, cedar wood type of green blast with a note of like rainwater, sap, papyrus. Eau Sauvage, I love the smell, but it kind of smells like old money, like a bank teller. This feels like super modern. Any age can wear all of those fragrances I just mentioned, but this one especially, if you're a man's man, you're 25 and up, you want that style, but you want it to smell more mature and more classy, less playful, but still feel modern. Lin Sumi is about 30, 40 bucks online. It always sells out, so if you're on Joma Shop or Fragrance Buy, you have to turn on your notifications to make sure that you're aware when it comes out. If there's one fragrance that I would like to smell like for the rest of my life, like out of bed, my natural body odor, I would love it to be this. Very good scent. And I just did an episode, Memoirs of a Fragrance. I dropped it day before yesterday, or yesterday actually. and this was featured on it. So there's 3 green scents that are under 30, 40 bucks that you might want to get your nose on. Okay, Gilly, nice. That's a good start to your collection, buddy. Like and sub to the live. Appreciate it, Kai. Appreciate it, brother. Joel, thanks for transcribing. What would you, Joel, we got to get you on the show, man. I know you're kind of like a shy guy and you don't like camera time, but let's get you on. I'd love to do like some conversational stuff with you on fragrance, man. Love to have people see that side of perfumery. What would you rate Amir Celestial? 10 out of 10. Amir Celestial is back here. Can you see it? I'm not going to pull out the fragrance, but here's the cap. Amir Celestial is better than the OG, better than Ganymede, and it's top 3 best clones of 2024. I didn't pick up the original Eros yet because I'm not sure whether to get the EDP or Parfum. I can't find the original formula. Honestly, the EDP and Parfum are really great, but the best price to performance is original Eros EDT. You can get it anywhere online for $35 for a 100 ml large jumbo bottle. You'll still get 10 plus hours of performance. It's the freshest of the 3. It might not be the most complex or the longest lasting of the 3, but for $35 100 ml, you can't beat that. Once you move into EDP or Parfum, you're starting to pay closer around $50, really for virtually not that much of an upgrade. So I hope that helps your shopping experience. What's up, Ramirez? Good to see you, buddy. I make my perfume from animal musks and... Oh, come on. From animal musks. Give your phone back to your mom. Okay, I want to pick up Spice Bomb Extreme. Good idea. Yeah, I mean, if you want to spend the money, get Spice Bomb Extreme. If you want Spice Bomb Extreme and Spice Bomb Infrared combined, Armoff's Odyssey Ohm Black Edition is only 20 bucks right now. You get the same longevity, you know, 8 to 10 hours of performance. And this literally smells exactly like Spice Bomb Extreme and Spice Bomb Infrared. You get the freshness from Infrared, but you get the spice of Spice Bomb Extreme. $20 if you want to save money. Otherwise, if you want to pay full price for Spice Bomb Extreme, you can do that too. But, you know, I look at it this way. If that's a DNA that it's like, oh, I really want to get the OG, then go ahead and get it. But to be quite honest, you'll be more than happy with that $20 clone. And it's a really good fragrance. And I actually think it smells better than Spice Bomb. It's got a little more character to it. House of Doom, I haven't heard of that. Put it in the comments section after this live. I'll look it up. Is Litafa Eternal Oud an everyday fragrance? No. Extremely heavy vanillic, spicy fragrance. More vanillic than spicy, but it's a great clone of Grand Soir. And it does take like 6 months to a year to macerate fully, which is rare, but that's the case. It's a cold weather scent, heavy vanillic sweet. You can wear it date night indoors if it's cold enough weather. You know, I would say like 75 degrees and down, but otherwise it's a fall and winter seductive date night scent. Okay, Joel. I'll hit you up on IG. Any recommendations of Creed besides Silver Mountain Water? What's GIT? The heck is GIT? Oh, Green Irish Tweed. So, any recommendations of Creed besides Silver Mountain Water, Green Irish Tweed, or Aventus? Absolutely. Millesime Imperial is one of the best Creeds out there. If you're 25 and down, look into Millesime Imperial. I would say Virgin Island Water, but the performance is terrible. So I would say Green Irish, Millesime Imperial you need to look into. Or if you're 25 and up, look into Royal Oud or Bois de Portugal. What's up, Sydney? What's up, John? In your opinion, what do you think is the hardest fragrance to describe in terms of scent profile? Diaghilev from Roja. Extremely hard to describe. I was looking into picking up Jean Paul Gaultier as well. Any recommendations of a first one? Le Male Elixir. I think that's the only Jean Paul Gaultier worth buying is Le Male Elixir. Nishane, MFK Silver. Okay. Thoughts on Hugo Boss frags? I think I trust your taste more than the average reviewer. To me, the only bosses worth getting is Boss Bottled Elixir and Boss Bottled Magnetic. Those are not only the best scent profile in the entire line, but the most unique, but still mass appealing. Magnetic is in second place. Boss Bottled Elixir is probably easily in first place. What's good, all world? Good to see you, brother. Boss Bottled Absolute is a good fragrance, but it's number 3 on the list. I think in terms of unique scent profile, Magnetic goes into the 2 and Elixir goes into the 1. But Absolute is still in the top 3, so you can get it. Yeah, you'll love Elixir. Actually, last night was the first time in my life I saw Boss Bottled Magnetic in a Ross. I couldn't believe it. I almost bought it, but I have enough of it. My collection's so big, I don't really need a full bottle of Magnetic, but still a really good fragrance. What's your opinion on French Avenue Bourbon? I think people are overhyping that fragrance. It's a good smell, but it's like I think the fragrance is getting a little too much hype. Unless you live on the East Coast and it's always cold where you're at, you're just not going to wear that fragrance enough to warrant the price. Is Amouage Reflection 45 as good as people say? If you put 10 people in a courtroom, 5 people would absolutely love it. 5 people would absolutely hate it. I was in Ross and saw an older bottle of Polo Earth. Have you tried that? I haven't tried it. No, I haven't. Parfums de Marly Carlisle. What do you think? I think Carlisle is the 4th best Parfums de Marly fragrance in the PDM lineup. If you're above 25, it's amazing. If you're under 25, get something like Greenlee, Sedley, or if you're in a cold weather, you can obviously get, Leighton, Pegasus, Percival, or the other one, I forget the name of it. Honestly, I don't know if I'm the best reference for Parfums de Marly because my top 3 is not everybody else's top 3. My favorites is freaking Galloway, Wajan, and honestly, it's probably Galloway. In order, it would probably be Wajan, Galloway, Carlisle. Those would be the only 3 that I would actually purchase bottles of. The rest of them, I think the great thing about Parfums de Marly is there's amazing clones of all of them. So, and the only reason I really push people into Sedley is because Sedley and Greenlee have the most versatility out of the whole collection, aside from Galloway. But most young people would prefer Greenlee and Sedley as very versatile, youthful fragrances over Galloway, which Galloway is the most versatile fragrance in the lineup to me for somebody who's 25 and up. Best frenetic or gourmand best suited for this AZ climate, though. I don't think any gourmands are suited for AZ climate, but one thing I would recommend that I would wear despite the heat that's gourmand is Tres Oros from Day 3, which their boutique is actually in Arizona. And yeah, Tres Oros, Day 3, that I will wear year-round in Arizona. But traditionally speaking, I don't think gourmands and Arizona are synonymous. It's kind of an oxymoron. Are any of the 1 millions worth buy? Yeah, 1 million Lucky, 1 million Parfum, 1 million Elixir. All good. Can I get a birthday shout out? No. Off non-Toronto. It's crazy how many people have asked for birthday shout outs in lives that have nothing to do with birthdays. It's crazy. I think I got like 8 people this week ask for birthday shout outs. I don't even shout out anything. I don't care if you want $1 million. Fragrance Q&A, baby. Off-non Tarathi Blue, I blind ordered it. What do you think about it? It's good. I mean, it's a good Tygar clone. I have Tarathi Blue somewhere in here. Yeah. Haven't worn it in forever, but if you saw my collection, you could understand why. But really good Tygar rendition. Really good Tygar rendition. If you're a young guy, 30 and down, you'll find a lot of utility in a fragrance like this. You know, basically smells like imagination. I mean, Tygar and imagination are basically brothers. What up, TTF? Thoughts on OG Curve? Super dated. No need for it. Well, I was going to say, bless you for the next time and you sneeze, but now I'm not. Okay. That's fine. Hey, I'm blessed, man. I don't need extra blessings. Are you planning to review the House of Harmonist? Yes, I am. Very soon. Very soon. Don't do Axe anymore, man. Axe was 2003 to 2006. After we left high school, Axe left. Axe was out of here. In fact, I even told a story about that on my Memoirs of a Fragrance. I talked about how prevalent Axe body spray was when I was in high school. Haven't smelled that fragrance, TT. Luciano Coastal Breeze, it's trash. Hopefully maceration helps. Does it really smell like Pacific Chill? I mean, it's not 1-to-1, but I mean, it gets you in the wheelhouse, you know. Maceration, in all the bottles I've acquired, I've only had about 4 or 5 fragrances absolutely need maceration, which is like 5 bottles out of like 500 fragrances. So it is something that can be a necessity, but a lot of fragrances are just bad. What's the best fragrance you've ever found in a rack store? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a phenomenal question. Some of the best fragrances I found in a rack store would be the discontinued Banana Republic Arctic Slate. Not Banana Republic Slate. There's a flanker called Arctic Slate, which is discontinued, which is basically Invictus Aqua, but better. That was a great find, because that's discontinued. Show you guys the cover of it. That one was a fire pickup. Boss Bottled Magnetic. Yesterday I saw. That was a good find. Burlington is actually low-key the best place to shop rack store-wise, because Burlington is now starting to carry all the clones. So you could get Cod Lodge Island. You can get all the Club de Nuits, all the Body Al Ouds from Armaf, Mahir Legacy Silver, Black, Gold, all the designers, you know, Eros, Gucci Guilty. So yeah, I mean, Burlington, as far as my best pickups, I'm trying to think. Ferragamo Bright Leather is another great pickup from there. Yeah, there's not a lot. You know, today, a lot more stuff has hit the rack store, but in my season of fragrance collecting, I'm doing niche only at the moment, so I haven't purchased something in a rack store in a while. It's like right when they started getting popping, I stopped having a need for it. But yeah, I mean, there was a once upon a time, multiple days a week, I would be inside of Ross, Burlington, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, you know, everything. So Nordstrom Rack. So I don't really have a lot of fragrances that I can say like, oh my gosh, this was an insane pickup from a rack store. But Drakkar Intense, Mahir Legacy Silver, Cod Lodge Island, Lionheart from Lattafa, Arctic Slate, Ferragamo Bright Leather, Those are all pickups that I've gotten from a rack store that I think are pretty good stuff. If this shelf fell over, nothing would really break. I mean, my carpet is like extra thick. Unless bottles fell on top of each other, you know, that would probably be a problem. You ever smelled House of Le Labo? Yeah, I've reviewed several Le Labos on the channel. Torino 21 or 22. I don't think you can go wrong with either, to be honest. Can you talk about that blue Xerjoff on your top shelf again? If you wear Axe as an adult, you're probably not allowed around schools. I would agree with that. After Effects is a good clone of Side Effect. Yes, it is. What's the best fry? Okay, yeah, so we're finally catching up. Yeah, so to talk about Casa Marati, which is Xerjoff's Mephisto, to me, this is the best blue fragrance of all time. I describe this fragrance as sipping blue Kool-Aid in the Arctic. So pretend you're in Alaska on a mountain covered in snow. There's a draft, and you're sipping on blue Kool-Aid. You got the blue Kool-Aid, you got the cold, harsh Arctic wind. There's like a slight mint to this, but it's more of a airy, cold air than mint, but there is a kind of slight mint spritz. Drinking blue Kool-Aid, and then holding like a bowl of like lemons, strawberries, and like tangerines. You know, this is just a really cool blue because a lot of the blues are either all classy or all citrus basket. And this is more about the Arctic blast, the mint, and the blue Kool-Aid. And then the secondary dressings behind it is like the citrus basket. #1 blue fragrance in my collection and best blue that I've smelled of all time so far. I haven't smelled everything, but I have about 500 scents in the office here. And I've smelled, you know, probably over 2,000 fragrances at this point in my journey. So to say it's the best blue I've ever smelled, you know, I'm not an expert, but I have smelled a lot of fragrances and a lot of blues. And that one to me is the most impressive. Good performance. Very unique. Very, somehow in the midst of all that description of Kool-Aid and Arctic and citrus basket, somehow it's still very classy and expensive smelling. That's what I love about it. It's a blue that still makes me feel mature and like I have a fragrance that nobody else owns. Okay, let's move up. I like that Burlington has Lattafas, but I find that the variety isn't great. Honestly, not all Burlingtons are the same. Not all Rosses are the same. Not all TJ Maxx's are the same. Not all Marshalls are the same. So there's like one Burlington where I live where it's like a jackpot every time you go. And then most of the other Burlingtons are very lackluster. Same thing with Ross. So I would just say if your Burlington sucks, look on your Google Maps and try to find another Burlington, because some Burlingtons, the shelf is literally as wide as my collection. And then some Burlingtons are like 8 shelves high and they have collector boxes and fragrances in the front, fragrances in the back. So not all of those stores are the same in every store. So you need to really hunt around and see like, oh, this is the best Burlington out of all the Burlingtons where I live. This is the best Ross. They usually carry more variety and stuff like that. You really got to get that deep with it if you're still hunting at the rack stores. Yeah, Willie, I appreciate y'all answering questions. Club de Nuit Intense, I don't get the hype. I didn't really like it. And I asked all the hot ladies in the office. Nobody liked it, and they usually love every fragrance I wear. My question object is, if they loved all the fragrances that you usually wear, what was the reason to even get Club de Nuit at that point? If you're already banging all the hot chicks in your office. Okay. Why do people glaze Encre Noir and pour Homme more than Lin Sumi? No clue. Honestly, Encre Noir, Sport, and A la Extreme are the worst fragrances in the Lalique line. Straight up. Like, every fragrance from the Lalique line is better than on the Encre Noir trio. Lalique White and Black, Lalique Indigo, Lalique Lin Sumi, Lalique Pour Homme Lion. I mean, that fragrance was made in 1997. It's still better than all the Encre Noirs. I don't know the hype. I'm a vetiver lover. So if there's anyone that should love a vetiver fragrance or the Encre Noir trio, it should be me, but they're utterly trash. Thoughts on Killian Black Phantom? Is this Black Phantom? No. Black Phantom surprised me, guys. It was a tall order getting Black Phantom because I was so in love with Straight to Heaven. I just think that's one of the best fragrances of all time ever made. So Black Phantom had a lot to live up to impress me. And I don't understand this fragrance. Like, I don't know what the notes are. And I haven't looked them up because I'm still trying to figure it out before I go to the notes. But it's a very unique, dark, seductive fragrance that isn't overly sweet, which is appealing to me because it's like I love a fragrance where the sweetness is like really dialed in as a secondary and then there's all this character up front. It has that going for it in the same fashion of Straight to Heaven. It's really unique, guys. It's really a unique, seductive, dark scent. And it fits the name, Black Phantom. Like, I imagine there's like cocoa in this or cacao, maybe coffee in this. But it's still got this kind of Spice Bomb Extreme, slight spicy, slight dark leather, vanillic feel. But it's just such a more, it's one of the most, it's a very unique scent. I'm really impressed by the character of this fragrance. I just don't know how I feel about it yet. But I'm so glad I have it in my collection because nothing else I have smells like that other than Straight to Heaven. And Straight to Heaven is its own thing. You know, dried fruits, dark leather, patchouli, and rum. Yeah, I hear you, Object. What would you compare Lattafa Atlas to? Atlas is cloning Megamare from Aldo Parisi. I think Atlas was really poorly done. It's one of the most watched videos on my YouTube channel. And I think the reason why is because so many people were curious about it, hearing that it's marine notes and sea notes and oceanic and all that. But there's a synthetic note in Atlas that just never macerates out of the fragrance. If you want the best ocean fragrance, no question, go to Oceania by Roja and you'll never look back. When it comes to ocean fragrances, this smells like an ocean that's made out of white champagne, citrus, and fruits. That's the best way to describe it. You jump in the ocean, butt naked, and you get some water in your mouth, and you're like, is that white? Is this ocean made out of white champagne? Oh, wait, and there's like strawberries and lemons and tangerines and citrus all in this ocean, like cut open already, ready for me to enjoy. That's what this fragrance smells like. Best ocean fragrance. It doesn't come with the sea salt. It doesn't come with the freaking oak moss and all that nonsense. It's like a sparkling champagne, ocean water, wine type of feel. Really nice. Really expensive smelling. You have that. You don't need a single other aquatic in that category. Nice. Very nice on the Jade East. I think Atlas's Megamare clone could be wrong, though. No, you're right. It is Megamare. Do you have Tuxedo? No. I mean, I do have Tuxedo in a decant, but the clones, to me, do the job. Maison Alhambra Kismet, really good introductory Tuxedo clone. Afnan Tarathi Brown, great Tuxedo clone. Arabia Oud is
the best tuxedo clone because it's heavier in patchouli, so it just makes it way sexier. So I've actually switched. I used to say Tarathi Brown was the best, Kismet's the second best, but now I say Arabia Oud is like literally 20% better than those other two clones for sure. What should I buy? Smell-wise, sillage-wise. La Mala Parfum, Honor and Glory, Torino 21, Torino 22, Fakar Black, CDM Straight. Probably one of the Torinos. I mean, you can't put a Zherzhov next to those clones and imagine me picking the clones. It just won't work. Just to clarify, is that Mephisto, is that Zherzhov Mephisto or Casamarati Mephisto? It's the same house, buddy. When you look on Fragrantica, it should say Casamarati Mephisto by Zherzhov. I believe that's how it's listed. Fakar Black and Honor and Glory, in my opinion. I mean, Fakar Black is better than Honor and Glory. It's sexier. Honor and Glory is basically super gourmand dessert and white florals. I'm not a big fan of that at all. What is the best clone of Straight to Heaven? There's a Amir Paris Corner rendition of Straight to Heaven, but I would not recommend it because I have not smelled a legitimate Straight to Heaven clone so far. Killian Blue Moon question mark. If you're asking me if it's good, it is. Blue Moon Ginger Dash, I think. SB, where did you pick up your Casamarati Mephisto? Honestly, man, if you're going to get Mephisto today, you need to find somebody who owns it. Otherwise, you're going to pay a pretty price for it, dude. Like, you really got to find a unique place to get it. Otherwise, you need to know somebody who's selling it because you're gonna pay some hundreds for it. Why is vetiver so polarizing to some people? Is it an olfactory thing, or are those that don't like it too young to appreciate the note? I'm gonna be honest, Derek. The problem is not the people. The problem is the vetiver. Vetiver, there are some notes in perfumery that are so brash and out there that it really becomes a balance issue and a quality issue. Where did you harvest your vetiver? How was the vetiver harvested? And then even if you have a good vetiver accord raw material, how well did you blend it into the fragrance? In my experience with vetiver, outside of maybe Ormond Jane's Vetiveria and Roja's vetiver fragrance, I haven't smelled a vetiver forward fragrance in Terre de Hermes and Vetiver Sensual from Mancera. It's very hard to make vetiver a lead note and still feel like a smooth fragrance because it comes with so much tart and bite, and then the quality of the vetiver makes all the difference in the world because vetiver can have like 10 different accords. So I just think most vetiver fragrances are very poorly blended. The ratio is off. It's either too much or too little. So like for instance with Elysium by Roja, vetiver is a base note and you don't really detect a ton of it. It's like such trace amounts. And that's how most fragrance companies do vetiver. They put it really far in the background just to complicate the fragrance a little bit, give it a little more masculinity. Most companies wouldn't dare make vetiver a lead note. And the companies that do it so poorly. It's like, because it's in such a trace amount, when they make the vetiver forward fragrance, they overkill it and lead it too forward. But the more overkill forward you do, the better your finesse has to be with the blend. And that's where a lot of companies fall short. They don't know what they're doing with the blend. So I just think vetiver fragrances haven't done a good job in making people love and appreciate vetiver. But I would say if you're new to vetiver, the best vetiver fragrances you can get into is Roja's vetiver, Ormond Jane's Vetiveria or Vetivericia or whatever the heck, the new vetiver fragrance from Ormond Jane, Mancera's Vetiver Sensual, Terre de Hermes, I know I'm missing one other one. I mean, there's a couple of other bangers, you know, Fat Electrician from Et Libre d'Orange. Try those. Yes, thanks Joel for correcting him on that. I've been exploring more scents from the house of Issey Miyake recently. I picked up Nui DC EDP. That's a good fragrance. And those are some banger cheapies. I also own the new Pour Homme EDP and I'm in love. Well, I believe it's either Quentin Biche, whoever is the guy that made, you know, Pacific Chill, Afternoon Swim, L'Immensité, Imagination, all that stuff. The same perfumer for most of the LV line is the same perfumer for Issey Miyake. So Issey Miyake fragrances are oftentimes just flankers of LV fragrances. They just don't call them that. So it would make sense why most people enjoy Issey Miyake's, and they're way more affordable. What is your favorite iris fragrances? The usuals. I think the holy trinity of designer iris is Valentino Uomo Intense for the freshest, most versatile iris. Sexiest masculine iris is Givenchy's Gentleman Reserve Privé, and then the sexiest kind of metrosexual masculine with feminine touch iris is going to be Dior Homme Intense. Thoughts on Blue Talisman? Just high price point justified. I don't think the price point is justified with Blue Talisman, but it is worth the money, I think. Blue Talisman is a fragrance that, unless you are madly in love with it, you should never pay retail for it. Art of the Universe by Lattafa is a slightly more synthetic Blue Talisman, but what you sacrifice in it being more synthetic is you get a lot more performance. If you want the closer natural talisman smell, you can go with Taj 2 from Fragrance World. That does take about 3 months to macerate and get strong. Otherwise, it feels like a really light fragrance. But Talisman is a really light fragrance. It doesn't scream in its sillage, it whispers. So you kind of have to change your expectations of what you want from Blue Talisman, because at first it'll smell really good, but it'll feel really light on your skin. But once you get into it, you'll realize it actually does last a good amount of time. So I think Blue Talisman is never worth retail, but if you bought it retail, the juice will be used up because it is one of the best blues ever made. The most challenging wear in your collection? Probably Diaghilev, no question. Diaghilev, Burlington 1819, Mahir Legacy Black Edition, Xerjoff Richwood, Black Phantom, Bentley Absolute, Kamrakawa, and Lalique Pour Homme Lion. How about Tarathi Blue? How is it? What does it smell like? Tarathi Blue is about 90% close to Bulgari's Tigar. So it smells like a big citrus basket with slight blueness and slight aquatics. It smells like oranges, tangerines, lemons, and limes all thrown into a basket. All those fruits are sliced open with a touch of water splashed on them. That's what Tarathi Blue smells like, and that's what Tigar smells like, and that's what Imagination smells like, and that's what Elysium smells like. But they all have little nuances. Like Tigar is mostly a citrus basket on woods. Imagination is a citrus basket on aquatics. Elysium is a citrus basket on amber and vetiver. I prefer Elysium over Tigar and Imagination, so I prefer, even in the clone space, I prefer Elysium clones over Tigar and Imagination clones, but I have all of them. Spice Bomb Extreme can still rock in 2025. Spice Bomb Extreme is a timeless fragrance. It can always rock. If you like Spice Bomb Extreme and you're getting older as a man and you want that same smell, but you want to smell more expensive and more progressive, then go with Tom Ford Original Noir EDT or EDP, or Tom Ford Noir Extreme. Can you explain to me the difference between Torino 21 and 22? Not without a computer in front of me. I've seen Omar's video on it. No idea how it compares to the original. Looking for some more quality, fresh fragrances. Yeah, I mean, Blue Talisman is a great fragrance, but if you want to save money, get Taj 2 from Fragrance World. If you want something in the wheelhouse of that as clones that are just really solid, Greenly is like a green version of Blue Talisman. So if you want a Greenly clone, you can go with Fragrance World's Aether, Aether. That takes about 3 months to really macerate, but it's like a really fresh, slightly classy, playful green fragrance. Great clone of Greenly. If you want Blue Talisman, the closest rendition, you could get Fragrance World Taj 2. That'll need 3 months of maceration, but it's really close to Blue Talisman. And once you have like a fresh, classy blue-green, or a fresh, classy blue, fresh, classy green, you really don't need to walk in those categories anymore. You can move on. Those two will get you a long way in your fragrance journey. Where would you recommend doing fragrance trades with real people that you can actually DM and call? I'm not a big fan of the whole Facebook groups and all that stuff. You just never know who to trust. Spice Bomb Extreme is still great. The infrared EDP is my go-to though. Yeah, I mean, infrared's great, but again, I don't need infrared because I have Spice Bomb Extreme and infrared in one fragrance. Odyssey Own Black Edition is Spice Bomb Extreme and Spice Bomb Infrared in one fragrance. 8 to 10 hours of performance on top of that. Fragrance is only $20 anywhere you shop for it. I mean, this might be best clone of 2023. I mean, this right here, guys, if I was starting my collection from scratch, this would be one of the first 5 fragrances I pick up immediately. I mean, that right there is like no brainer. Super fresh. Spice Bomb Extreme is a little bit more richer and more sexy date night. This is the tiniest bit fresher, so I feel like you could still use it for like a everyday classy man that's got some sensual touches. But in its freshness, it has a kind of infrared flare to it. So this is like one of the top 10 best clones of all time to me. Yeah, that's I mean, if I'm starting my collection, that's top 5 in my collection. If I'm starting from scratch and getting clones, I mean, you just can't beat it. This is amazing. Thoughts on the newest Spice Bomb leather or dark leather or whatever it's called. The dark leather it smells really good in the opening. In the dry down, it completely falls apart and it doesn't get more than like 3-4 hours of performance, which is crazy because it's supposed to be a fresh dark leather scent. So if you smell it on the test strip, you're like, ooh, that's good, I'm gonna buy it. And then you buy it and wear it and you're like, man, this thing is not what it smells like anymore. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of trading with anybody who you don't actually know. The best thing to do is to meet people in FragCom, get their phone numbers, start talking with them, and then you have like, 10 or 20 buddies that are all trading fragrances here and there when they need to, or going to like fragrance meetups, Facebook groups. I mean, here's what happens. Ultimately, you get into a Facebook group, you start getting more curious about niche fragrances, and you start looking at fragrances that retail at $1, $2, $3, $4, $500, and then you're dealing with people who are selling fakes, and you never really have a way of validating them until it's too late. You can get all the proof, the batch codes, and anything, but at the end of the day, when you buy something on Facebook, you're going to be Venmoing, Cash App, or PayPaling, and they will not resolve disputes with Facebook purchases because you're buying them behind the counter. So for me, I'm only buying fragrances from real people. I don't care how cheap they are. Find real people, do your trades, do your meetups. Other than that, the discounters are knocking off so much of the price. Discounters, online discounters are still the best way to go. Do you think Maison Francis Kirkjohn fragrances are overrated? No, not at all. I absolutely love Grand Soir. I love Gentle Fluidity. I love Aqua Media. I love Oud Silk Mood. Oud Satin Mood's okay. Baccarat's cool, but it's beyond me at this point. But yeah, I mean, Maison Francis Kirkjohn is not overrated. Amyris Extrait is awesome, Yeah, they're still phenomenal. I mean, would I pay retail for them at this point? I might pay retail for Oud Silk Mood, Amyris Extrait, and Grand Soir. But most of those got good clones now, so you don't really need to. But if you paid the money for them, you just suck it up. They're good fragrances. They have great longevity. They smell expensive and luxurious, So, no, I don't think they're overrated. I think people make them overrated, but those are people who don't really wear fragrances to me. I can always tell when somebody talks a lot about a fragrance they don't wear. What scent makes the ladies go wild? In my collection, fragrances that really get female compliments is the Black Orchid clone, Zara Man. It's Black Orchid from Tom Ford, but better. That one gets a lot of compliments. Dior Homme Intense, a lot of compliments. Club de Nuit Per Show, a lot of compliments. Versace Eros, a lot of compliments. I'm going through the designers first. Marc Jacobs by Marc Jacobs, ton of compliments. Moving into, actually, we could stay on designer for a little bit. Lalique White and Black is better than Leighton. Great compliment factor, very high there. This Maison Alhambra Afro Leather, massive compliment factor. Killer. And then, Angel Share, Fire Your Desire. Always a compliment getter, no question. L'Homme, Original L'Homme from YSL, very high compliment factor. Sexiest 1 foot of projection fragrance out there. Now going to niche, big compliment factors, Roja Danger, Oriental Woods and Spices. This is basically a fire hot amber, spicy amber woody fragrance. Women just feel like this is the most successful masculine man out there. Excuse me. Compliment factor on this is insane. I think I wore this last week, got 3 compliments like in an hour. One of the best Rojas, no question. There's a freshness to it. You don't gotta feel like an old man wearing it. You feel like a 20 to 40-year-old man making millions on crypto. What else is a lady killer for Taif Oud from Roja? One of the most wearable rose ouds. Women love that one. Mephisto, obviously best blue, but that's not really an intimate scent. Another sexy one, Oud for Greatness, or yeah, Oud for Greatness from Initio. This is the Great Gatsby fragrance. This is Leonardo DiCaprio when he goes on the deck, looks at everybody in his castle, basically, in his mansion, partying it up, and he's like, yeah, they're all coming here because of me. Nice. Trace Oros. Most compliments I've ever received on a sexy, seductive fragrance. Trace Oros, no question. Day 3, Trace Oros. Honey, plantain, pineapple, brown sugar, mandarin orange. Sexy. Sillage, the sillage on this is insane. Most compliments ever gotten on a fragrance. Here's another clone for you guys. Glorious Oud Royal Blanc, Musk Therapy. Best masculine take on white florals. Yikes, that's insane. Yeah, other neat. Oh, this is another one. Easy. Bulgari Man in Black. Better than Prada Black and Black Orchid combined, in my opinion. It's dark, it's chocolatey, it's velvety, it's patchouli, it's slightly sweet, mostly masculine. Any Black Tux event, this is a lady killer. This is Casino Royale James Bond. I mean, there's a lot of killers in here. Straight to Heaven. Massive compliment factor. Most classy unisex sex appeal. Chanel Coral Mandel. Or even Le Leon. I have Le Leon right there. Coral Mandel. This would give Nichané's Ani a run for its money. Cedrat Boisé, this kills that. There's a couple bangers, man. There's more in there. You guys see I got the Boudicca and all that, or Boudicca. Okay. Do you remember a scent in the 2000s that was in a glass cube? The cabin atomizer was in a triangle, cube, light amber color. Can't remember. No, I don't, Derek. I don't, brother. Take care, Willie. Good to see you, buddy. Prada Luna Black. What does it smell like? Do you like it? Ignore Prada Black and get Bulgari Man in Black. On discounters, I think I've got this for 80 bucks. Bulgari Man in Black is exactly Prada Black with more performance and a little bit more sophisticated smell. So I could tell you the way I described Bulgari Man in Black is exactly how Prada Black is, but this has just got better projection, better longevity, smells a little bit more expensive. So completely disregard Prada Black and just go... The biggest complaint with Prada Black is it smells so good, but the projection and performance of that fragrance is just trash. You feel like you're wasting your money. It's just a skin scent so fast. Yeah, absolutely. I really need to try Elysium. I've only got my nose on Alexandria. Yeah, I mean, you don't need Elysium. If you have Elysium, it's money well spent, but this is the best. You know, there's Trillium, there's all these Elysium clones, but honestly, out of all the ones I've smelled, and I've smelled about 8 Elysium clones so far, FOMO Fragheads Asylum, man, this right here gives you all the performance, dude. This is spot on. This is spot on, 1-to-1 to me. It's crazy because this fragrance, I bought it for 20 bucks, but now because it's so popular, I think it costs like 40, 50 bucks. It's still money well spent though. This beats Tygar and Imagination to me because it's got the vetiver for the complexity in the base and the amber warms the fragrance up. Yo, FOMO Fragheads Asylum will get you to Elysium. But if you bought Elysium, it's still going to be one of the most complimented, most used fragrances in your collection. Is OG Commerce still worth it in fall for 2025? If you're under 25, yes. But I still recommend you get Kawa. Kawa is better than Original Comra to me. But if you're a kid, no kid hates Original Comra, but it's so sweet. Original Comra is so freaking sweet. Like, it is overkill, nauseating sweet. And see, here's the problem young men make in fragrance. I mean, old men actually do this too. You think about what you like, not about what the woman likes. You're like, oh, I love that smell, so I'm gonna go wear it. But it's like, she's gonna look at you and just think you're gonna get friend zoned so fast because you just have no nuts with a fragrance like that. The smoky vanilla with a hint of citrus, man, the girls like that one. Just don't overspray it. Oh, what did Masters recommend? Okay. Get off non-Tarathi Electric for a clone of Blue Talisman. Oh, that one's good. That new one. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, TT, if you really want Comra, just get Kawa. Trust me, man. It's the same fragrance, but the coffee note balances down the sweetness and also makes it a little more interesting. The coffee note is not real coffee. It's more like a latte. Caramel latte is what it smells like in the background. It doesn't smell like roasted coffee beans. If you want a coffee bean fragrance, La Tacita de Café from Day 3 that's a roasted coffee bean fragrance. There's a fragrance called Coffee Break with a Civet. That's a roasted coffee bean fragrance. Let's see. Might have to check out the Odyssey one. I wasn't aware of that one. Yeah, Odyssey Own Black Edition is incredible. I'm constantly chasing the Ghost of Spice Bomb Fresh Flanker. I just traded it on a whim. I haven't... Honestly, Odyssey Own Black Edition sleepy. Buy it right now. You'll never look back. You will never look back. Thoughts on Mind Game's counterplay smell? Not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. What's up, Qatar? Good to see you, buddy. Iconic or Milestone for summer? Both. I think you have to buy both. You need Bleu de Chanel and you need Millesime Imperial. Millesime Imperial, Slight Watermelon, Sea Salt, Vetiver, Amber. That's like the ultimate yacht fragrance. Bleu de Chanel is the ultimate classy young man fragrance. So you need both. You need to get both. I mean, you can get both those fragrances for 40, 50 USD. So I wouldn't pick either or. I think you have to own Iconic and Milestone. And just to show you how serious I am about that, I haven't worn these in a while, but if you look at them in my collection, I have both of them literally right next to each other. So I practice what I preach. That's a fragrance you have to have both. If we're talking niche, Initio Absolute Aphrodisiac is a lady killer. It absolutely is. I mean, everything from Initio is designed for foreplay. You know what I'm saying? So, Absolute Aphrodisiac, what is that fragrance called? Baraka, something Barak. That one's a sexy one. Side Effects sexy. Atomic Rose is sexy. Every one of those fragrances is sexy. I mean, shoot, Oud for Greatness is sexy. Anything you get from Initio, you're gonna get lady killer vibes. Tres Oros does beat all the Initios to me. My next pickup is gonna be the Day 3 Discovery set. You're a smart man. You're a smart man, and then you're gonna love at least one of those fragrances, and then they're gonna give you $40 off. What would you rate Gucci Guilty Elixir? 10 out of 10, no question. Gucci Guilty Elixir is probably the best designer release of 2024. Easily. Gucci Guilty Elixir restored my hope in the Gucci brand single-handedly. It is so good. Gucci Guilty Elixir, I'm not a big designer guy right now, but Gucci Guilty Elixir is a masterclass in perfumery. The Orris is the main reason that that fragrance is saved, because you just get such Gucci Guilty Elixir could have been released under Tom Ford. You know, it could have went right next to Oud Wood. You know, it's just a great fragrance. So far, I got 9 p.m., Legend, Spirit, Kamarakawa, Iconic, and Urban Man. You got a nice little start, AJ. Really nice. If you want Comra, French Avenue, Royal Blend, Nero instead, way better. I have both. French Avenue Royal Blend Nero is just sweeter. But the thing is actually, let me back up a little bit. If you're just comparing Comra to Royal Blend Nero on which is better, they're really incomparable. But the reason why anyone would say Royal Blend Nero is better than Comra is because I don't know who came out saying Comra was supposed to be Angel Share. I mean, I guess Lattafa did, right? Because the bottle looks so much like Angel Share. So I guess I'm kind of, I should eat my words there a bit. But Comra is not Angel Share, guys. It really is not. I get the look, but as a smell, we should have stopped saying that a long time ago. Comra is like 75 or 80% in the direction of Angel Share. Now, Royal Blend Nero is trying to blatantly make Angel Share, and they do a good job. They're about 90% of the way there. If you want Angel Share, this beats Royal Blend Nero. Fire Your Desire from Paris Corner. And the reason why is because Royal Blend Nero does not have cognac in it. Cognac is the base and the nuts of the Angel Share DNA. Royal Blend nails everything else. The praline, the cinnamon, the vanilla, the spices, the bergamot, all that. They forget the cognac. And that's what most Angel Share clones miss, is the cognac note. But Fire Your Desire has a robust cognac note, which is what saves that fragrance from being feminine leaning, stays perfectly unisex. So that beats Royal Blend Nero. If you're talking about closest to Angel Share clone, then yes, French Avenue beats this. But then Fire Your Desire beats Royal Blend. Royal Blend is still a great smell. Comra is still a great smell. So it really just depends on what you're going for. I only think people love Nero so much because they only have Comra as a reference to compare it to. But if you put it next to Fire Your Desire, it just annihilates it. How's your day going? It's going well, man. I'm looking for a minty smell too that's good performing. Sadly, I don't know any. Minty, Linsumi is green with a minty note. Mont Blanc Presence has a mint note up top. I know I'm missing a couple. Oh, Casa Marati Mephisto has a mint note up top. Celestial from Amir has a mint note up top. I know I'm missing a couple. But those are quite a few suggestions, so look into those. Bro, do you have Vulcan Fue? I don't have Vulcan Fue, but I have smelled it. It is, to me, currently the best God of Fire clone out there. There's quite a few. There's good God of Fire clones, but Vulcan Fue wins on the performance. But here's a kicker. If you're looking for a good mango fragrance, try Day 3's Bonnie, B-A-N-I. Probably top 3 best niche mango smells right now, and you can get it for 150 bucks. It's not God of Fire. It's not supposed to be, but it is a great mango fragrance. But Vulcan Fue currently is the best God of Fire clone. I have Milestone. I might as well get Iconic. I love Bleu de Chanel. Yeah, I mean, I have Bleu de Chanel right here. Iconic smells just like Bleu de Chanel EDP. I've confirmed this many times on stream for you guys, so you believe me. It's 1-to-1. What was that Musk Therapy clone? It was Fragrance World's Glorious Oud Royal Blanc. Take a screenshot of it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to me. 10 out of 10 top 3 best clones of 2024. It's 1-to-1 clone of Initio. And Musk Therapy was my favorite Initio release over all the date night sexy sex fragrances. I liked White Musk Therapy because it was the most masculine white florals I've ever smelled, and it was the most versatile fragrance from the lineup. It's the only fragrance that didn't go for this over-intoxicating night after sex vibe. I have to get $300 then. Okay. No, you don't, Qatar. Camera missed that boozy note. Well, Camera is way more than just missing the boozy note. Camera compositionally is not even close to Angel Share. It goes more in the kind of Armani Stronger With You direction. It's got more of a holiday nutmeg cinnamon vanilla vibe, whereas Angel Share is a little bit brighter. It's more like an alcoholic, thinner fragrance, but just very pungent. It's just texturally, it's a much thinner fragrance that floats on skin. Camera wears very heavy. What's the word on Rayhan Tiger? What would be a clone of it? What would that be a clone of? I don't recall. Yeah, correct, Qatar. Have you tried any of the Precious Liquid line? I'm looking at the Discovery set. No brick and mortar carry them. Yeah, I mean, I've tried the Salt and Pepper one and one other one. They smell expensive, but in my experience and a few of my friends' experience, the Precious Liquid line wine, it's very intriguing. It's kind of like Amouage. But a lot of my friends sell Precious Liquid fragrances. They own it. They love it for a half a second, and then it's just too challenging. So I think you either love it or you hate it, but the Discovery set is definitely the best way to go so you can see if it's worth buying. Similar fragrances to Versace Eros EDT, except for the ones from the same brand. I don't know off the top of my head, but I mean, the composition is pretty simple. Green apple, vanilla, and mint. So just look up those notes on fragrance. Go on Fragrantica, look for Versace Eros EDT, scroll all the way to the bottom of the results, and it'll say people who like Versace Eros also like, and then it'll show you a bunch of fragrances like it. I can't think of any off the top that I would recommend over Eros. Is Musk Therapy for under the age of 25? I honestly think Musk Therapy is ageless. I would love to recommend it if you're in high school, college, or a grown man. I'm 36 and I wear it. It's one of my wife's favorite fragrances on me, even over a lot of my niche fragrances. But it is so fresh and it's so fresh and expensive smelling that I think young people could definitely pull it off. The only reason a young person may not like it is because if you're a young guy that struggles to wear florals yet, you might not think it's masculine enough. But I swear to you, if you wear anything like Gentleman Reserve Privé or Dior Homme or Angel Share or Instant Crush from Mancera, if you wear any of those, you can totally rock Musk Therapy or the clone. And watch the compliments flood in, man. Just watch them. Just watch them. Have you ever compared Reflection Man to Gucci Guilty Elixir? I think Gucci Guilty Elixir's better. I just do. It's got more use case to me. Reflection Man is so hit or miss. Like, I like it, but everybody don't like it, and everybody don't necessarily like it on me either. Whereas when I wear Elixir, I've never gotten a bad compliment at all. You know, I wear a travel spray of it, but I have a bottle of Gucci Guilty Elixir coming in this week. It's just impressive. It just has way more versatility, and it's more universally accepted. Shiaka Red's pretty good. In fact, that's really slept on a lot, but I think Reflection Man is a scent that you just have to have the OG of. That's just my opinion. But there are a lot of good reviews on Shiaka Red. I just think the Shiaka line has a small undertone of Indianness. You know, like it feels like a UAE clone in the background just a little bit. Even with Shiaka Blue, which I carry. I think I still carry it. I actually put Shiaka Blue in the giveaway box. We're giving that fragrance away. That'll be a good giveaway. All right, guys, any last minute questions before I head out? Put your questions in the chat. I'm going to stretch for half a second, get a drink of water, and then we'll wrap up for the night. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Ask your questions. Whew. All right, guys, let's see what you got for me. Gucci Elixir is definitely the holy grail of designers right now. Works for any woman, young or, you mean man? I need Gucci to help brother out and release a 200 ml. Yeah, I know, that would be great. It also helps. I really love smelling it on myself. Yeah, I remember the first time I smelled Gucci Guilty Elixir. I didn't even want to smell it because the green bottle just looks so weird. I smelled it and I was like, whoa, I'm going to put some respect on Gucci's name now. That thing might have single-handedly saved that whole line for me. Because in all honesty, with every style that Gucci has gone for in the past, after Gucci Pour Homme and the original Gucci Guilty, I feel like they were synthetic knockoffs of the Givenchy line, you know, with Boisé and Gentleman Society and Reserve Privé and Gentleman Elixir. Givenchy always came off a little more sexy, like a little more top shelf than Gucci, but Elixir might have single-handedly saved that line for Gucci. What do you think about Amber Oud Rouge Al Haramain? Club de Nuit or Armaf Untold is better than Rouge for sure. If you're thinking about Baccarat Rouge at all, get Armaf Untold. I think it's a Club de Nuit fragrance. Untold is the only thing you should ever be thinking about when it comes to Baccarat. Best fragrance to get for your mother? Bond number 9 New York Flowers or YSL Libre EDP. Have you tried Mancera Cherry? I haven't heard of a fragrance called Cherry. Is CDN Untold similar to Instant Crush? No. Instant Crush, hold on. Might be your lucky day. We'll see. Okay, we still got a little bit of juice left. Micro perfumes might have the best atomizers in FragCom. I mean, you know, if I'm being honest, they're close, but you can't compare them like clones because they're different personalities. Baccarat Rouge is like an older woman, like I just think Instant Crush is they made Instant Crush for 20, 30 and under men and women, mostly geared to the college and just getting out of college group of people. And I think you will mostly find men wearing Instant Crush over women. Baccarat Rouge, more women wear Baccarat Rouge than men by like 70-30, maybe even 80-20. And that fragrance is geared more towards people 30 and up. It makes 30 and up people feel more youthful and very expensive. Instant Crush is like a playful mid-20s scent that has a little bit of luxury to it, but it's mostly a candied fruits, kind of Skittles and vanilla type of white champagne overcoat. I wouldn't compare them to figure out which one you'd buy over the other. I would just say if you're a young person, stick to Instant Crush. If you want the Baccarat Rouge DNA, you can go for Untold from Armaf. Yeah, that's my final on it. It is a good scent. I mean, Mancera did their thing with that. I need your opinion on French Avenue Aether. I feel like they're lying about it being an extrait. I don't care what they call fragrances these days. I don't even listen to them. Because, you know, there used to be rules. Eau de cologne, eau de toilette, eau de parfum, extrait. And that used to be a specific oil concentrate amount that would increase with each rendition. Then they started coming out with Elixir, Absolute, Intense, all these different weird flankered words that really meant nothing. And that didn't, the concentrate didn't increase with those at all. And then some of them did match extrait, and then some of them didn't. So it put them in a pot that had no meaning. And now, I could have two eau de parfums that if one's a fresh fragrance and the other eau de parfum is a vanillic fragrance, it doesn't matter what you read the oil concentration is, those notes will have more push than another that has EDP. So it really, a great example of this is Versace Eros Eau de Toilette. This Eau de Toilette will outperform 90% of fresh fragrant EDPs and parfums as an EDT. So I just don't trust the words anymore. Thankfully, I've smelled Aether, and I can tell you that it will feel like an eau de toilette at first. As time moves on, 3 to 6 months, it will get a little bit richer and feel almost like a eau de parfum and start to perform better. But fresh out of the box, Aether will feel very light, but it will smell really good. And as long as you're willing to give it 3 to 6 months to mature, the scent will get stronger and the performance will get better. But there's no question Aether is a great scent to enjoy. Is Reflection 45 challenging to wear? Sometimes I think complex is a code for unwearable. It is. I mean, the first reality check I got going into niche perfumery is that niche does not always mean complex, and also complex does not always mean good. So I think any homage fragrance is challenging because everybody likes different homages for different reasons. Whereas when you go to Xerjoff, most people like Naxos. Most people like Torino 21 or 22. Most people like 40 knots. Most people like Renaissance. Most people like Herba Pura. Most people like Herba Gold. Yeah, there's people that don't like it, but more people love it than not. With Homage, it's like 50-50 either way on every fragrance. So I can't really tell. Do I think Homage 45, Reflection 45 is or Reflection 45 is challenging? Yeah, because I think every Homage is challenging in the sense that depending on your personality and what you're into, you may hate it or you may love it. And there's not enough of a general consensus for me to say, yeah, you'll probably like it, especially being that I know nothing about you. It's either going to be Mancera Tonka Cola or Montal Arabian Tonka. I'm not a good person to ask about Tonka Cola or Arabian Tonka because I hate both fragrances. So I don't want to advise you which one to get because I'm not a fan of those. So yeah, I would ask somebody else because I just don't want to enforce my negative opinion about it on you because they are great fragrances. I just don't like them. Yeah. Give it like 3 months, John. It will start to get more on the level of like a Blue Talisman type of concentration. It's still not going to quite be an EDP monster, but you should at least be getting 4 to 5 hours of performance easily on it in like 3 months, no question. You also can't be a sissy sprayer with Aether either. Like, you got to get in the habit of spraying that thing like 10 sprays, to be honest with you. Might be harsh in the first 5 minutes of putting it on, but get in the habit of putting 10 sprays on with a fragrance like that. And should I buy Baccarat Rouge or Oud for Glory for winter? Oud. Well, those are two completely different choices. Baccarat Rouge is a niche fragrance. Oud for Glory is a clone. So of course I would go with Baccarat Rouge. Unless you mean Oud for Greatness, like the actual Initio, then maybe my answer would change. But Baccarat Rouge is going to be easier to wear. Oud for Glory is going to be harder to wear. Ombre Rose, haven't smelled it. Homage Black Iris was the definition of challenging. You have to love Iris to play with that one. I would 100% agree. Do you have any Club de Nuit, and which do you recommend? There are so many. Honestly, the entire line of Club de Nuit, if you're into clones, should be purchased. Sillage, Club de Nuit Sillage is better than today's batch of Silver Mountain Water. Iconic is 1-to-1 with Bleu de Chanel EDP. Club de Nuit Intense Man. Honestly, when in the Intense Man conversation, I think you need to get Club de Nuit Pre-Show 1. That's the best Aventus. And it's only $10 more than Club de Nuit Intense Man or limited edition. Club de Nuit Milestone smells better than today's version of Creed Millesime Imperial. It's actually better than buying real Millesime Imperial. Club de Nuit for women is a great take on Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. Club de Nuit Untold is the best Baccarat Rouge in the market right now. I mean, you might as well just buy all of them. I mean, you really will have something for everything buying that entire line. You'll have you'll have a couple of you'll have fresh classy, fresh outdoors. You'll have sexy date night, you'll have a yacht beach fragrance, and you'll have like a sensual seductive fragrance, and then you'll have a boss CEO type of fragrance. So they really pack a real good punch. Fire Your Desire or Oud for Glory? Fire Your Desire, no question. Anyone tried Mysterium? No, but Yo-Yo, honestly, I'm getting Monkey Special in soon. Come back on the next live, 2K. My friend Kix Griffey has a really good Monkey Special clone that he just bought, and I'll make sure that... Actually, go subscribe to Kix Griffey, K-I-X-Z, as in zebra. So Kix Griffey, Griffey. He just bought a great Monkey Special clone. Just go on his comments section and just say, hey, SB sent me. What is that good Monkey Special clone that you bought? And he'll be glad to tell you. CBD Milestone is dope. I only own that one. Lionheart and Precious one. Yeah, Precious one is the best Absolute Ventus right now. Lionheart is the best Lamal Elixir right now. And Milestone is better than Creed's current batch of Millesime Imperial. So I think those are good selections. Okay, guys, I'm going to head out. I love you guys so much. Really appreciate the interaction. If there's anything I didn't answer from you guys, please put it in the comment section below. I will answer it within 1 day's time. Stay tuned. We've been dropping episodes 2 to 3 times a day. So if you're into the fragrance conversation on all levels, a clone, dupe, inspiration, iteration, designer and niche and independent niche, as you guys can see, I carry all of it. So really appreciate you guys and hope this brought you guys value. And hope to see you guys next time. Love y'all, man.